welcome to the Omphalos Cafe. This is definitely a departure for me. I've been planning or thinking about doing a video out here. A little different from sitting in the cafe, sipping on my tea, talking about books with the Buddha head, my Buddha buddy beside me, and shelf of some of the finest reading I've collected over the last 30 years. But a lot of the contemplation, a lot of the meditation, rumination upon those books has been done out here, running the highways in a truck. It affords me my living, pay my rent anyways, but it also just gives me time. You ever felt yourself slipping into a nice meditative state while driving? I mean, it's much harder to do in a city driving situation. You have to be much more alert. But out here on the highway, it doesn't take a lot of alertness, a lot of your attention. You keep the truck on the road, keep the vehicle, keep the shiny side up, as they say. So it leaves me free to think and dream and play with ideas. Who has the time these days to play with ideas like that? And that's where a lot of what I do at the Omphalos Cafe comes from. It comes from reading books. It comes from moving out into the world, working, bruising your knees, skinning your knees and bruising your shins, falling on your face a few times. It comes from that, and all the books you read, the good books anyways, could be an experience just as important as skinning your knee, falling on your face. But even that, who has the time to reflect on the experiences of, let's say, broken friendships, experiences of love, lust, whatever, broken relationships? Trucking for me has always afforded that. I don't know if you can see it, but way down in the distance there, the lights, that's Merritt, BC, so I'm descending a long grade. I'm going to drop down a half gear and descend a long grade into Merritt. I'm about 50 minutes out of Kamloops, BC, some of the most beautiful highway in the world. It's Oklahoma Highway. Not very heavy, so the run's real good. Maxed out about 60,000 pounds. That's pretty light for the truck I'm driving. I was 90,000 coming out. That's getting heavy. Now, how heavy is 90,000? Well, in the States, most states, they cap it at 80,000. So all the trailers you see going around highways of the U.S., especially the tandem trailers with 2 axles, they're running at a maximum of 80,000 pounds. I came out at 90,000 pounds. I have 3 axles on my trailer. I'm going back light, only 60,000 pounds, which is why I can go down this hill so fast. Speed's about 70 miles an hour. You can hear, if you hear the engine, that's the engine retarder brake, holding the engine back, holding the truck back. The Jake brake, as it's called. Anyway, I was thinking, how do I get a video in like that? Outside the cafe, but equally meditative, equally peaceful. This is one of my favorite times of the day. The sun is going down, but the sun is going down behind me. It's already gone behind the mountains behind me. In fact, it's getting quite dark now. It won't be that long. It will be fully dark. Another 15, 20 minutes probably. But it's easier on the eyes, and yet I can still see the landscape, turning to grays and blues and deep browns. I was thinking of doing a video about Zen and the art of trucking. Because it is so meditative, this. Just being one with the truck, one with the road. Just beautiful curves, bends, hills, beautiful scenery out there. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up. See the valley, wide valley down below. Town beside me, down to my left is Merritt, BC. It's a highway that runs up over the hills to my right there. It's pretty much straight ahead of me right now, straight ahead of us. And that goes into Kelowna in the Okanagan Valley. Beautiful highway into a beautiful Kelowna, the Okanagan. Very much of a holiday destination in the summertime, ski destination in the winter. Still descending the hill here. Quite a bit of traffic coming up the other way. Nobody on my side. Nobody behind me I see, nobody in front. That's the way I like the truck. I'm not one of these guys that like to be on the CV all the time. I like my quiet. Put the tunes on. You'd be surprised how good the music is in these trucks. The sound system. I don't have anything geared up right now. I've been alone with my thoughts. There you go. Getting to the bottom of the hill now. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Not illiterate. No high ideals here. It's just the enjoyment of life. Just getting out. Everything I do at the cafe is about this. It's about living our lives. Participating. Finding your niche. Your role to play. Well, I've agonized over that one for a long time. And I've settled in. This is my role. I still like trucking. And I've got the cafe. Not very well attended. That's okay. As a result, it's the fruit of 30 years of reading. Not just reading, well, at the beginning it was reading indiscriminately. Hemingway, Fitzgerald, Dostoevsky, Tolstoy. So many of the staples of English literature. But then I got on, and I've got a few videos on it, I got on a guy named Henry Miller. I must have been 14 or 15 when a friend's father, when I actually worked in a used bookstore, though I wasn't reading seriously at that time. I was just reading mostly Second World War stuff, various other stuff. But a friend of mine's father said, and he picked up a copy of Tropic of Cancer, and he said, "This one's a filthy book, but a good book." And I didn't read it at that time. I didn't read Tropic of Cancer until into my early 20s, probably about 23 years old or somewhere around there, 23, 24. And it was definitely a landmark in my life. The energy, the chutzpah, the attitude of fuck it, just going out, dropping everything and living. Just living for today, living for now. Giving everything to his art, giving everything to reading, and not going by the conventional values, wars of the age today. That's what Miller gave to me, but Miller gave me something else. Reading Tropic of Cancer, he talked about L.E. Fauré and the history of art. So then I thought, I'm going to with the hospital. And at that time, there weren't that many good paying jobs, not when you didn't have a degree, didn't have a trade or anything. So I had a friend out in Calgary. I talked to him, and he had visited Montreal, and he was driving a truck, and I thought, I ought to give that a try. So I hitchhiked out to Calgary, hitchhiked to Toronto, took a bus to Winnipeg, got off the bus and hitchhiked the rest of the way to Calgary, about 1,400 kilometers. What's that, 800-900 miles? And as soon as I got to Calgary, I signed up for my Class 1, AZ in Ontario, tractor trailer, truck driver training, and got that. And that was, I guess, 27 years ago or so. But then I had a way of earning my living. A way of earning my living that didn't compromise what I was thinking inside. Now, I've tended to shy away or move away from jobs that required that I pay too much attention. City driving, you have to be on your guard all the time. You have to pay attention. You have to know where you're going. You have 2, 3, 4, 5 stops in a day, 20 stops in a day. You have to be thinking. I said, that's not right for me. I don't want to think that much. I want to daydream. So that's where this highway driving came in. Look at how far we've come. What have I come? 10 kilometers? Taken nothing of me. I can do that. There's no traffic on the road. I'm paying attention enough. Scenery's beautiful. This stuff I'm doing, I'm not trying to impose ideas on anybody. If it doesn't touch you, as I've already said, move along. But it's about awakening things in people. Now, I know it's not going to happen too fast, but the great teachers of the ages, they don't impose, they don't burden you with information and facts. The great teachers awaken you to the wonder and beauty of life, the curiosity and wonder and beauty. It's an expansion outward into life. That's what learning should be, an expansion outward, not a pressing down from outside. I liken it to, you're not a silk plant. You're not sticking silk petals and silk leaves and silk flowers on. You are a flower. You are a plant. You're growing from within. You're nourishing yourself in life, the environment you live in, the air about, people you're with, the books you read, the artworks you take in. And you're growing plant life, blossoming plant life. Now I'm getting poetic. That's okay. It's unscripted. That's what the cafe's about. If school isn't enough and you're restless with it, in the cafe, you just open your mind to things. The 60s talked a lot about drugs expanding your mind. And yeah, drugs can expand your mind, but it's only a short-term expansion. It just goes, oh, boom, back. Like drinking a cup of coffee. Gives you a high, a quick, woo, I can go another 200 kilometers. I'm going to drop a half gear here. Drinking a cup of coffee. I'm going to have to go buy this guy. He's going to move. No, we're still late. He's much heavier than I am. That's what happens when you're running heavy. That's why I'm so fortunate to go back light. But now we got on to trucking. When I was talking about the Omphalos Cafe, I'm going to wrap this first one up. First of my trucking videos. As I was saying, thanks for watching be more. Let me just warn you right now.